big goal line stand, and then clutch drive, and your clutch kicker.
Yeah, I mean, just so many things. But if you kind of start from the end, the goal line stand, stop them there on 4th down, and then our offense takes that ball off our own goal line, takes it down the field. We were trying to milk it. Daryl Chestnut went out of bounds, which hurt us. And then we went for it on 3rd down, didn't make it, but then the big field goal. I mean, Jason Sanders has just been unbelievable this year, as we've talked about. And then they get the ball, it's 2nd and 20, and before you know it, we have another roughing the passer penalty, and they're in position to tie the game for sure, maybe win the game. Huge call on the offensive pass interference, which I think was a good call. Of course, I'm probably a little biased. And then I was really surprised, with 16 seconds left, that they called the timeout. And quite honestly, I thought they would probably kick the ball right there, kick the field goal, or they would throw the ball in the end zone, one of the two. Obviously, the safe thing is to throw it in the end zone, but from where they were, there was a chance they'd get sacked, because it wasn't just a 3-step and launch it in the end zone. They were out there pretty significant field position. And then right at the end, we're out there in quarter personnel. We have 7 defensive backs on the field for the play before. So rather than panic and try to get our regular defense out there to block the field goal or call timeout, because I've seen that happen, where all of a sudden, we were able to at least line up and try to block the field goal with our 7 DBs on there, something we've practiced, because I've seen teams before panic in that situation, try to get their field goal block team out there. And then I wasn't sure if he got it off or not. I thought the clock expired, but it looked to me like if he'd have made it, they would have counted it, just the way it played out. But the final events of the game is what you remember now, but what I remember is them jumping up 14-3 on us. And had a hard time, as we knew coming in, again, matching up on the perimeter with them throwing the ball down the field. I knew they were going to come out and throw the football, and they did that. And I think it was really big that our offense was able to keep the ball and run the ball on this team, a team we haven't been able to run it on for 3 years. We had 44 plays in the first half, and they had 22. And I don't know what it ended up being, but the fact that we were able to run the ball on this team, so you go from Nevada last week that we weren't able to run the ball on, to Utah State, which we haven't run the ball on in 3 years. So it's a significant win, so just a lot of things.
Would you evaluate Austin's performance?
I thought Austin played great. We had one stock and go that was wide open right there in the fourth quarter. You may have seen it. He got a little bit of pressure, and I think it was Pat Reed. It was just wide open. 20 yards behind the defender. Other than that, I thought he gave us a spark. He continues to run the option pretty well. A couple things in the game. We after the turnover, Santos intercept the ball. We don't get any points. That was significant. But just an unbelievable win. I got to take a moment just to say, in 2013, when Utah State came to Albuquerque, it was brutal. It was brutal, the gap. And to be standing here in 2016 and to have closed the gap, to me, is significant, because the Fresno States of the world and the Utah States of the world back 4 years ago or 5 years ago, it was an unbelievable gap. So it's a big win. It's a big win. Come up here and get it.
Do you hold them to 7 points?
That's what I mean. You think about the last sequence of events, but what I really think about is they had 14 before you knew it. And to hang in there, even though we had a hard time covering them, to be able to hang in there and be resilient, overcome 2 roughing the passer penalties. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. So yeah, it was encouraging. It really was. Corey Borquez with another really gunt. Jason Sanders with the 2 field goals. A lot of really good things. Austin Apodaca, big 3rd down conversion. We're becoming a pretty balanced team in some ways.